Now, with the BJP looking forward to a positive outcome in the state of Karnataka with its changes to the reservation matrix and the Congress party's internal rebellion raging on, it remains to be seen whether Stalin's remarks could yet dent their prospects. Furthermore, anti-incumbency is said to be casting a lingering shadow on the BJP. So let's understand what's going to happen. We're being joined by my colleague Sudha Sadhanand in the studio here in News9. Let me begin with her and then we take this across to our colleagues joining us on Zoom. I'm going to ask you one thing. This quota politics and MK Stalin making that statement in such clear, legible English, it's very important, but do you really think that, that could impact the chances of the BJP in Karnataka?
Well, I don't think so, because, although MK Stalin as well as his predecessors, particularly Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, they've always spoken about Samatavam, which is social justice.
Yeah, that's the bedrock, the bedrock of the Dravidian movement.
Yes. What Stalin basically is saying that he is all for social justice and he does not believe that reservation should be based on the economic criteria. Yeah. And he has a logic there. But it is stretching it too far because, there are two things. People will say that, look, it's not as if the DMK does not win elections based on caste. Although they talk about Samatavam, if you look at even caste wars and you look at caste violence, it's surging in Tamil Nadu. Now, coming to the point that you asked me, Krishna, I don't think that it is really going to impact because I think Bommai is playing a very, very clever game by segregating the reservation amongst the Lingayats and other castes, taking it from the minority community just before the election so that, there could be a balancing act. I feel Stalin's statement ain't going to cut any ice in Karnataka.
All right. Let's talk to some people from Karnataka. For that, we have B.S. Arun, senior journalist, joining us, as well as Mahesh Chitnis. Let me take this first across to Mr. B.S. Arun, and then I'll go to Mahesh. Mr. B.S. Arun, there has been a significant shift in the reservation matrix of the state of Karnataka, which has resulted in even protests. We've seen the Banjara community protest outside B.S. Yediyurappa's house also. Lots of has happened. And then now you have MK Stalin wading into this debate, in fact, saying the changes to the reservation matrix in Karnataka are disastrous, at least according to the DMK Supremo.
First of all, I agree with your colleague Sudha about Stalin's statement not having any impact in Karnataka. Karnataka elections in the assembly are mainly fought on local issues, and they don't bother much about who says what, But
do you think that the way the reservation matrix has changed, do you think that that is helping the BJP fight the anti-incumbency shadow that's lingering upon it?
I'm coming to that. See, as far as the quota issue is concerned, there are a few points here. Number one, it was because of BJP sort of having a back foot in the campaign, in the perception of the people, the anti-incumbency. All these factors perhaps made Bommai and his colleagues to think of this avenue, especially more so because there was a protest by what is called Panchamsali Lingayats, a powerful sect within the Lingayats, and Lingayats are the core vote base of the BJP. So they were protesting, demanding a separate quota for themselves. Now, Bommai, having got a court order vacating an earlier vacating the case of an earlier petition, so he had his hands free and he waded into this issue, and it was sort of an advantage BJP at that point, as he gave number one internal reservation to the scheduled castes, number two 2% increase for the Vakaligas and the Lingayats. And then a separate, the number three was he removed Muslims from a reserved category and put them into economically EWS, economically weaker sections, which carried a 10% quota. So now, with this, it was thought that it was in sort of an Chanakya stroke by Bommai. But then what happened was, as you mentioned, there were protests from two different groups. One from the Banjaras, who were part of the group Untouchables, and they feared that number one, their the total number of total percentage for them being 4.5 is lesser than what they had earlier got, And number two, if this continues, they felt that being touchables, they may be removed from the scheduled caste group itself. So they went on a protest in different parts of the state, including, as you mentioned, in Shikaripura, the home constituency of Yadurappa, former chief minister and the BJP strong man, and threw stones on his house. Not just this, the protests are continuing even today, in different parts of the state, in different regions. So that's a cause for concern for the BJP, because these touchables include four different groups. One is Banjaras, the other is Bovis, number three is Koracha, and number four is Korama. So these are the four, different sects within the touchable group. So this is on the one side. On the other side, it is the Muslims. BJP may not bother much about this because they feel that it is not their core vote bank. I mean, hardly Muslims vote for BJP. So they are also on protest, but we are not seeing much of the Muslim protests over the last few days. They protested once or twice. And now coming to, the BJP itself, how well the BJP will ensure that the protest is not intensified in the state and that it doesn't turn into
Right.
violent protest. So Bommai has to treat very carefully in
Bommai has to
this.
tread very
And
carefully.
number two,
Right.
yeah.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
And number two, for Congress, if you ask me about Congress, then there is a sort of a complicated thing here. The issue has already been the proposal has already been sent to the center, because center has to bring it before Parliament. Parliament has to approve this, and it has to be made into a constitution amendment, and then it has to be included in the ninth schedule of the constitution, so that it's taken out of the purview of the courts. So I think Parliament its session is ending any day this week. So I don't think that will happen. So this is on the one side. On the other, it is somebody or the other will go to the court. It may be questioned in the Supreme Court, and will it stand the scrutiny, the test of law? That remains to be seen. So these are the issues, on the one hand. And for Congress, how well Congress will convince the people about all these intricacies that are involved. Number one, to say that it's just a proposal, it's just a election-related propagandic announcement by the BJP. And number three, and I feel more important, is that the Congress party has said that it will reverse this once it comes to power. Suppose this becomes a law, and then there is no question of reversing it. And number two, even if it doesn't, can something that has already been given, say 2% to the Lingayats and 2% to the Vakaligas, can it be reversed? It's very difficult politically. We all know that anything that's given in India, especially reservation, cannot be taken back. It's very difficult to be taken back, because you will antagonize these communities. So Congress also, in a way, is treading on a sticky wicket.